In the early hours of Thursday, October 27th, Grand Round tribal members gathered in the parking lot of the Natural Resources Department to head out on a new type of outing provided by the tribe. A little over an hour later, around 20 tribal members and NRD staff were on the water casting out crab traps. This trip was put on by the Fish and Wildlife Committee and the NRD as a way to promote the Shellfish Agreement signed this year between the tribe and the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife. In February, the Oregon Fish and Wildlife Commission signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Grand Round tribe that allows tribal members to harvest shellfish under a special gathering permit. Previously, a recreational shellfish license in the area surrounding the Grand Round Reservation, called Trask Unit 14, and the ocean that runs along it, was required. But under the new agreement, tribal members can simply visit the Natural Resources Department to ask for a Grand Round tribal hunting and fishing license with the annual tribal shellfish license for free. Shellfish have always been an important foundation for our lives as tribal members, Grand Round Tribal Council Chairwoman Cheryl A. Kennedy said when the agreement was signed. They appear in our traditional stories, nourish our bodies, adorn our regalia, and historically served as a currency for our dealings with other tribes. To be able to return to our fishing grounds and harvest shellfish under a tribal permit is something that will support us for generations to come. Out on the Natards Bay, field biologist Kyle McLaughlin drove our boat, with 4 tribal members, including myself, aboard. Even with our varying age groups, tribal elders and tribal youth alike participated in pulling in the traps.
Nice.
Oh, good.
I had the opportunity to pull in traps a few times, but decided I'll stick to video recording and looking at the weird seaweed which littered our boat. Our boat had 5 crab traps to begin with. We set them out, and then we just had to wait. We started pulling in the traps and soon realized we only had 4 of them. With the rising tide, one of our crab traps' buoys had disappeared. We spent about 4 hours repeatedly pulling the traps and setting them out again, all while looking for our missing 5th trap. Even though we were crabbing with the tribal shellfish license, we still follow the Oregon sports fishing regulations, which means we can only keep male crabs with shells larger than 5 3/4 inches. In the end, our boat ended up with 10 harvestable crabs. We were able to reach 10 crabs when we finally found our 5th crab trap. Its buoy had been submerged underwater and hiding behind another fisherman's buoy for more than 3 hours. It gave us an additional 3 crab to add to our cooler. Around 1:30, all the boats returned to the dock where they were hauled out of the water. The crabs were taken back to the NRD where they were cleaned, cooked, and distributed back to the participating tribal members and staff. As we were leaving, I heard many participating tribal members agree they look forward to the next tribal crabbing trip.